12 steps of construction. Once the construction drawings and other related documents have been completed and approved by the authority in jurisdiction, the project will then be awarded
concrete
to a
dreams where the
contractor by
neon
client to
glows. Every
consult.
block tells a tale the
In
whole
this period,
city
the
knows.
construction of the
Rhythms in the
proposed
shadows where the
project will
cold
begin.
wind blows. Life's a gamble on these
Construction
streets,
can be summarized
anything
into 12
goes.
stages.
Boom bap echoes through the alleys at
Clearing of the
night.
ground. To begin the actual construction, the
Soulful
clearing of the
samples
ground
lift the
where
darkness
the location
to
of the
light.
project will be built is the first thing to consider.
Beat
The
kicks
construction
pound like a
personnel
heartbeat
tasked is to
fight.
clear the construction site for any obstruction and debris
These
that may
gritty
obstruct
vibes
and
keep
delay
my
the
story
construction.
in sight.
The temporary facilities such as engineers'
Graffiti
office,
on the
labor's
walls paint the
quarters,
struggle and
material
climb. The
storage
clock
room,
keeps
temporary
spinning, but I'm
water,
owning my
electric
time.
supplies,
Words
and
like
other related
puzzle pieces
facilities
fitting
should
tight
also
in the
be
rhyme snares,
constructed
punch
prior to
louder
the
than the
start of
city's
work.
own chime.
A site
Boom bap
perimeter
echoes
fence
through
should
the
also
alleys
be
at
constructed
night.
during this period. 2. Site layout.
Soulful samples lift the darkness
This
to
activity
light.
involves the setting of the reference point in the form of
Beat
construction
kicks
grid
pounds
lines
like a
and
heartbeat
marking off the
fight.
gate level. This is performed to ensure that
These
the grids
gritty
have been
vibes
set
keep
up
my
on site
story
according
in
to
sight.
approved plans. The reference point should be
Street
marked properly and
lights
should not be
flicker
disturbed
on
throughout
this
the course of the
endless
construction.
trail.
Grid lines
Each
according to the
corner
approved drawings should be laid out
whispers a
prior to
hero
construction.
fail.
Depending on the complexity and
Smooth
size of
flow
the project,
cutting
the
through
construction
the
grids can be
urban
laid out through
scale
the use of
where
catalog
truths are
or related
spoken
surveying
and
instruments.
tales
A more
unveiled.
traditional way of the layout of the construction grid
Boom
is
bap
popular
echoes
for
through the
small
alleys at
projects
night.
is through staking using batter board and strings.
Soulful
Batter
samples
board
lift the
are
darkness to
temporary wooden
light.
frames used to suspend the strings. The strings
Beat
are the
kicks pound like a
representation of the
heartbeat
grid lines
fight.
in X and Y directions according to approved plans.
These gritty vibes keep my
Serve as a
story
guide
in
throughout the
sight.
construction, so it is important to fix a reference line in both directions to be used once the grids have been placed when needed in the construction. 3. Excavation. Once the layouts of construction points and grid lines have been completed, the excavation works begin. The excavation depth depends on the recommendation by the soil investigation report, but it is safe to say that the minimum
Street
excavation
lights
level for the
flicker on
footing
this
to rest
endless
should stick
trail.
to 1 meter below the gate level or the 0.00
Each corner
level.
whispers a hero or
Excavation
fail.
works as a massive activity, therefore a proper
Smooth
caution
flow
should be
cutting
observed
through the
during this
urban
stage.
scale.
In the event that the excavation
Where
unit
truths
is
are
along with the
spoken
neighbor's
and
existing structure
tales
exceeding
unveiled.
1.20 meters from your proposed level,
Boom
then
bap
join
echoes
supporting
through the alleys at night.
4. Compacting and laying of PCC.
Soulful samples lift the
Compacting of the
darkness to
excavated
light.
surface should perform once we reach the desired
Beat
excavation
kicks
level.
pounds like a
A
heartbeat
layer of
fight.
crushed gravel is one to be added during the compacting.
These gritty vibes keep my story in sight.
The final compacted layer should be checked in order to reach the desired degree of compaction to not less than 95% of the maximum dry density. It is then in this stage that an anti-termite treatment on the ground should also be considered. The laying of PCC or plain concrete cement should follow afterward in preparation for rebar works. PCC is usually composed of a 10 mm thick lean concrete for the footing rebar to be laid evenly level. 5. Foundation rebar and column starter bars. Once the laying of PCC has been set up, the rebar works for foundation and any foundation beams are the next activity. In this stage, the reinforcement of foundations is being prepared according to the structural schedule along with its formulas. The proper and standard concrete cover should be observed during this procedure. Starter bars for columns should also be installed accordingly before concrete pouring. 6. Concreting of foundations and column rebar installation. Concreting of foundations has to come next after the rebar works. The concrete to be poured should be properly vibrated for the concrete, especially the aggregates, to fully spread into the footing. Installation of column reinforcement on the previously installed column starter bars should be continued. A proper concrete cover should consider before closing the floorboards. For substructure columns, an additional concrete cover of at least 50 mm has to be considered up to plinth level to protect the rebar from possible corrosion due to sulfate attack. 7. Concreting of column and bitumen paint applications. Once the concreting of stub columns has been completed, give time for the concrete to dry completely and apply at least 2 coats of bitumen paint for both footing and stub columns. Bitumen paint helps in absorbing moisture due to the soil to prevent seepage into the substructure concrete. 8. Setting up perimeter blocks. Install solid blocks along the perimeter or the edge of the proposed project. This is to establish a boundary between the inside and outside edges of the project. It is also helpful when the difference of inside floor finish level to outside pavement or ground level is significant. partially to make sure that the required degree of compacting has been met until reaching the bottom of the tie beam level. 10. Tie beam reinforcement, grade slab, and concreting. Preparation and installing the tie beam reinforcement as per the approved drawing is the next step to consider after the backfilling and compacting. Formworks with standard concrete cover are also included in this stage. Once the reinforcement works have been completed, we can start the concreting. Installing of grade slab mesh and concrete work is then to be followed. 11. Rebar works and concreting of columns. At this stage, the substructure component of our project has been completed. It is now time for the project to go up. The next thing to consider is the rebar works shuttering work. Formworks and concreting to be done. Prior to concreting, we see to it that the columns follow the structural schedule. The formworks should be vertically level and a standard. Concrete cover has to maintain prior to the closing of forms. 12. Beam and slab works. Once the ground floor columns have been cast, it is time to prepare the project for beams and suspended slab reinforcement activity. Like any other structural members, beams and slab reinforcement should be followed strictly. Shuttering or formworks for slab and beams should be properly anchored and checked prior to concrete pouring. Step 11 can be repeated accordingly until such time that the structural frame or the core and shell of the structure has been completed. It is now time for the project to go up. The next thing to consider is the rebar works shuttering or has been completed. It is now time for the project to go up. The next thing to consider is the rebar works shuttering or formworks and concreting to be done. Prior to concreting, we see to it that the columns follow the structural schedule. The formworks should be vertically level and a standard. Concrete cover has to maintain prior to the closing of forms. 12. Beam and slab works. Once the ground floor columns have been cast, it is time to prepare the project for beams and suspended slab reinforcement activity. Like any other structural members, beams and slab reinforcement should be followed strictly. Shuttering or formworks for slab and beams should be properly anchored and checked prior to concrete pouring. Step 11 can be repeated accordingly until such time that the structural frame or the core and shell of the structure has been completed. The architectural finishing works are then be followed. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more.